have something.
Just did my interview with Gabe Pacheco. Known the guy for many, many years. You guys will enjoy it. Here is Gabe Pacheco.
Come on, this way.
Thank you for the tour, by the way, man. That is a weird thing about New York in that, like, I've known you for, we'll talk about it, but I've known you 15 years, and I've never seen where you live, but that's not that weird. But, like, if we were in, like, you know, Birmingham, Alabama, I'd be at your place week one. You know
Oh my God, we'd be in the downstairs basement with the wood panel walls.
Yes.
In a romper room.
Yes.
A man cave.
Romper room.
You drive everywhere else in the country. We've all been oppressed by the tyranny of automobile culture, fooled into these like golden cages, these prisons where we said every man should have a castle and the independence of a car. You look at the car commercials and you see people driving across desert landscapes, the plateau, Devil's Tower plateaus in the background.
Yes.
But the reality is once you have a car, you're not really going off-road anywhere. I don't know why you have four-wheel drive. You're stuck in the grid.
You're stuck in the grid.
You know, so that's the prison of everywhere else, and that's why we're stuck in each other's little dens when we visit. And New York is the one place where you walk and talk on the streets.
100%.
You know?
Especially in an area like this.
Yeah, we're all stoop kings here.
Stoop kings. I made notes on you. I made notes on you.
On
and,
me?
On you, yeah, man.
Oh my God.
So my impetus for this, let me just put my phone on vibrate real quick.
Yeah, please.
My impetus for this was
a babysitter calling in the middle of this.
No. Well, that's actually funny that you say that because my stupid joke is like, you remember like in COVID, you would have to like report where you were going and stuff. And
yeah.
I feel like, you know, having a child and being gainfully employed in Williamsburg, you have to like you have to like notify the people here.
Yeah.
You know, if you're like a dad, you know what I mean? Because it's such a young, this really is like a never land.
And then look right here to your left. You know,
there you go.
Okay,
See
right
so
there.
You go.
You see a guy in a papoose, and it was like a designer papoose.
Right.
His shirt matched the swaddled blanket that the baby was in.
Right.
So he was like.
He's self-reported though. I know that
he's
guy.
Self-reported.
He's self-reported here. You have to self-report here when you become a parent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll tell you my impetus for this. You know, obviously, a lot of good stuff to talk about here. We're here with Gabe Pacheco. Just gave me a beautiful tour of his home. You know, Dan Goodman is probably the most critical guy I've ever met in my life.
We'll make a left here.
Yeah. And he's never in 15 years he's never complimented me, but he said I have good interview skills. So I feel like
really.
Yeah. So I feel like he was the reason. He's kind of the reason behind this in a sense. So
you know what, Dan Goodman is a great man, a great judge of character.
He is.
And he has an eye for talent.
He does, and he's also amazing at like, it's like he lives in my brain. So like, just to give you an example, like I love breaking his balls, and you know he loves wine.
Sure.
And
he's a wine bag.
He's a wine bagger, and he came one time we were hanging out at a bar with some other people, and I said, hey Dan, you want your Beaujolais?
He goes bonkers for the Beaujolais.
And he goes, Dan, is that the only wine you know? And it was the only wine that I know. It's like, how did you know?
That's so funny. He doesn't go manic for the Malbec.
Oh, manic for the Malbec.
Yeah,
so it's so good. You're in my Comedy Stockholm group. You know what I mean? You were one of my early comedy captors.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
I
held you in the basement.
You did, man. You really did. And you made me do improv, and it was just...
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. But, yeah, so the reason why you've always interested me, obviously, very funny guy, hysterical in conversation, which I'm sure we'll see later on.
Sure. We're not there yet.
We're not there yet. We're not there.
Warming it up.
No, warming it up, man. Warming it up. Because, you know...
You got to prime the pump.
Couple things. Yeah, 100%. Prime the pump. So, yeah, so... I think I've said this before, but the older I get, you're a little bit older than me, but I hope you would agree with this.
Sure.
When you evaluate a person, good guy, bad guy, whatever, my only criteria the older I get, how do they treat you when you can't do anything for them?
That's right.
And I think by that criteria, man, if you and I don't agree on politics, whatever we would disagree on, I can't say you're not a good guy because you were very kind to me early on. You know, I heard a great Mike Birbiglia line recently that said, comedy is not recruiting. Comedy is not recruiting. I love that line.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so you were a guy that I didn't know fucking anybody here, were nice to me, always like gave me advice, gave me spots, whatever, you know, you were just kind to me. And again, now my just to be clear though, my baseline for kind at this point was probably very, very low, you know, but my bar, I should say.
Like a beat, abused dog.
100%.
You give them a little chicken liver.
That's exactly right.
And they're like, oh my God, are you my dad?
Right, I thought you were Gandhi.
Yeah.
I really thought you were Gandhi.
Are you the pack leader? Yeah.
The pack leader. So that's why, like, you know, very funny guy. And so I do have a lot of questions for you, which I made notes on. So I have 9 bullet points
Well,
here.
Can I tell you first off,
please,
when you talk about, I've been thinking a lot about death.
Me
as
too.
I always do. You you got to embrace La Santa Muerte. You got to
Right,
embrace
right.
Memento Mori. And if you live every day with this like meditation on death, somewhere in there,
Right.
you're probably gonna lead a decent life. You know?
Right.
The Jizza, it says the Bible, the song Bible. It's like basic instructions before leaving Earth.
Right.
You know. So anyway, I was thinking that at my eulogy, I just want people to play the last show screenshots of the last message I sent them,
Wow.
or the last little video message that I sent them.
That could
You
go
know?
bad so quick.
You know? Yeah,
Wow,
well then you
hysterical.
got to think about that when you text people, because it's all the receipts are there.
100%, man. I think about that
Yeah,
a lot.
hold on, we're going to stop for one moment.
We're gonna stop.
We're going to stop.
Yeah, all
Yes,
good,
sir.
All good.
All good. We're going to keep stopping because
What's your
we
biggest-
can't have people behind me ever.
I know, man. That's your
Yeah.
shtick. I didn't know that about
Yeah.
you, and I know you
I
pretty well.
had a friend, shout outs to Margot, who does all the pictures for Funhouse. She's done
Okay.
several paintings
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
Funhouse. Brilliant artist. And we're walking around the neighborhood, and she's watching my head on a swivel, and she says, Gabe, you know you've got a dysregulated nervous system.
Wow. Okay.
And I was like, you are going to be a great special ed teacher.
Aha! That's great, man. I love
So,
that. Well, I love your nervous
yeah.
system, man. It's always been.
Thank you.
It's interesting to me, at the very least.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably do suffer from anxiety, but I don't think of it. I think of it more as a superpower
Right.
than like something that I have to
But
solve.
isn't that fascinating, though? Because you were a teacher and you're also in comedy. So I mean, two things that involve speaking, right?
All
I mean,
the
that's
time.
not.
Oh, totally. Well, what is it? People that are preparing. You're constantly preparing for the worst.
Right.
Expecting the best or whatever.
Right,
you know,
right.
I have a guarded optimism.
You
know,
do.
I have a sunny disposition, but talking about death every day, I know that it's finite.
Finite.
But while we're here, it can be pretty fucking dope.
And when it comes to death, my thing with death recently, I've been really fixated on what time I'm going to die, like what time of
Oh,
day.
you think it's gonna be?
I don't know.
Oh, you want it after a great day.
Right.
You don't want it to happen in the middle of the day.
Right.
I always think about Heavy D, right?
Okay.
He's like,
He died. He's buried pretty close to me in Yonkers, actually, where I live. Yeah.
Bag of Blue Funk, R.I.P. to Mr. Heavy D.
Yeah, Heavy D. Yeah.
But he like texted something or tweeted something like, "Today's a great day," and then he went out jogging and dropped dead jogging.
That's right, like an aneurysm or something,
And it was
right?
like,
yeah.
you had your whole day ahead of you.
Right.
I want to go after the good meal,
That's right. That's right.
not dreaming of the good meal.
Why Catholic school?
Oh, why did I go to Catholic
Yeah,
school?
yeah.
My grandparents were Catholic.
Oh, they were?
Specifically my grandfather,
Okay.
And he cared a lot, and I think he actually paid for a lot of my early schooling.
Okay.
Because my parents were out here trying to make the world a better place. So
Right.
I think it was a feast or famine with paychecks with them.
Okay.
So they were not struggling artists, but they were maybe struggling lawyers.
Okay.
Like civil rights attorneys.
Okay,
and
yeah, I
things
remember
like
that,
And so I went to Catholic school. Also, DC was like going through it in the early 80s.
Right.
That's where I grew up in
right.
the city proper. And so it was kind of like a hectic place. Bad public school system.
Right.
Failing public school
Right,
system.
right.
Our mayor was addicted to crack cocaine
That's
at
right.
the time. And
I read Get in the Van by Henry Rollins.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
He documents a lot of that there.
those guys are like maybe 10, they would have been like the older brothers.
Yes.
They're about 14 years older than me, but they do paint a pretty good picture of like being an adult in DC
Right.
or a late teen
Yes.
around the time that I was like 2 or 3.
Yes.
So
Because you don't have a Catholic school vibe at all, quite
no,
frankly.
man. But you know what I do? I love there are a couple things that I got from early Christianity, right? One of them is the liberation theology.
Okay.
Was big right when I was coming up. Liberation theology was the Catholic Church priests, specifically in Latin America and in Africa, were trying to reconcile the fact that like the church was hand in hand with like the state, the slave owners, the oppressors.
Right.
And they were like, but wait a minute, their thesis was that Jesus was kind of like Robin Hood, that Jesus would have been a communist.
Right.
He was out here feeding the poor. He was
Right.
out here healing the sick.
Right.
So that concept of liberation theology was the version of the church
Right.
that I was exposed to early
Right.
on. And so that
Not a bad version, by the way, right? I mean,
yeah, because I think another version of Christianity is prosperity gospel, which is more Protestant.
Okay.
Like, if you are doing well, that means that it shows God is showing favor on you.
Right.
Right? Like, if you are, God is clearly you're blessed if you're healthy.
Right.
Clearly you're blessed if you're making money.
Right.
So capitalism and spirituality merged in Protestantism.
Right.
The Protestant work ethic.
Right.
Another version is that people tell you about Jesus, but your parents would actually hate it if you were like Jesus, right? Like,
right.
If your parents gave you toys and clothes, and you went outside and you took the clothes off your back and gave them to homeless people,
right.
and you like gave all your toys away to the poor kids in your class, your parents would fucking shake you and be like, "What's wrong with you?"
That's a good point.
So kind of there's this diabolical version of Christianity I think of, where they teach you about Jesus as an example of what not to be. Because only a fool or a sucker would be that person.
Oh, wow, that's pretty wild, dude.
Or he died for our sins, right?
Right.
So if he died for our sins, that means nobody ever has to fucking do anything like him again.
Right.
Don't be like Jesus. Be the worst. Be a foul, terrible sinner.
Right.
But going to church had me think about all these different ways that people sort of ponder life and philosophy through the lens of Christianity.
I see you as a guy that could have probably had that safe life and said, you know, F this, I'm going to do something kind of not guaranteed. And I find that kind of fascinating, if that makes sense.
Well, thank you. Yeah. We all have to decide the meaning of our lives, you know?
Right.
And if you can either go a traditional route and look for the acceptance and validation that you'll get from the external world, right? You're a good father. You're a good dad.
Right.
You're a good member of your family. A good,
right.
You know, oh, you're really great at your job. But ultimately, what do any of these things, you have to decide which of those things really matter. And for me, I just interrogated all that and found very little, I don't know what the word would be, joy?
Right.
Affirmation?
Right.
From getting the accolades from an outside world that I find broken.
Okay. So
like if the world's fucked up, what's the point of being successful in a fucked up world?
Right.
You're just adding to that.
Right. Well, that's pretty heady, man. And that's kind of my next question though for you is that, like, what keeps you getting out of bed in the morning? Like, what keeps you from being like, I've done enough. I'm gonna move to fucking, you know, San Luis Obispo, join a fucking ashram. I'm gonna get fucking, you know, 20 people to come with me.
Oh man.
We'll set up a tiki hut. Like, what keeps Gabe going? Because you are. I mean, listen, all ball busting aside, you know, I know I'm waxing your car here a little bit, but you're a very disciplined guy, man. Like, you're a guy that, again, whether I loved you, hated you, whatever, I can't say you didn't try hard.
I love the idea.
You know what I mean? But this is true, though. This is 100% true. No, I mean,
that you wrestled with this.
No.
I
haven't. But I'm just saying.
An emotional roller coaster.
No,
I haven't. And hate and battle.
No. I'm just saying, like, I happen to like you and respect you quite a bit. But I'm just saying, like objectively, though, I'm saying that, like, objectively, whether you, I'm saying, like, the layperson out there, whether they love Gabe, hate Gabe, whatever.
So I woke up today.
You can't say you didn't try, is what I'm saying.
I don't know, man. I love people. I like looking at people's smiles, and I like watching the world go by. Right? It's like anytime somebody's like, "Well, let's end it all." Like, "Oh, well, there's one more episode to watch." So why not wake up tomorrow and see what the next episode's gonna bring? If it doesn't mean anything, you might as well enjoy it. And so that's one.
Okay.
But I don't know, I'll just give an example of like today, right? So today I wake up and I'm working from home, but like that means that I get to wake up at 9 instead of 7.
Right.
So I'm already like, hell yeah.
Right,
Today's a blessing because I don't have to wake up like right on time.
Right.
To commute.
Right.
Then I look at my phone and I just went on a trip to South Africa. So I was like, okay, I'll make a little TikTok reel.
Right.
For my trip.
Right.
Whoop, put that out there. Okay. Then, since I'm working from home, why not do a podcast? Halal Cartels.
Right.
So I get Samir on the horn and we Zoom.
Right.
From noon to 1.
Right.
And you text and you're like, oh, you want to do this thing? Right? So now we're meeting and walking through the park. So like what gets me out of bed is like, I just like putting things out into the world.
Right.
You know, creation is a spiritual act.
That's right. I like that, man. Wow.
You got to just keep putting yourself out there. That's what we were put out here for. We're all we all have a spark of God in us,
Okay.
right? And
Right,
he
right,
speaks
right.
through us.
Okay.
And so you are betraying the great creator by not expressing yourself and putting something new into the world.
Okay. I like that, man. Who was
How
the
about
best?
that?
I love that, man. Yeah. Who was the best comic that quit, in your opinion?
Who's the best? Oh man, well, you know, I just want to bring up these comics that have always inspired me. When I started, I
But like
loved,
someone that's not around anymore.
I
you know what mean?
loved Mike Dobbins. Mike Dobbins.
Oh man, he was hysterical.
Mike Dobbins really.
I remember him.
What I love about him was that he could create an entire scene. When he
Yes.
got on stage, it stopped being a stage and it started almost like we were transported to another dimension, where he really you felt like you were in a new space, whatever the setting was for his character.
I love that. Yeah, he was hysterical. Is he still around? What's he doing?
I'm
man?
not
wonder.
sure.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know,
yeah.
man. I ran past him on the L train once,
Okay.
a couple months back, and it just nodded. But that's another thing about New York is we're all just like ships passing in the night.
100%. Yeah, yeah.
You're like, we've known each other for 15 years. You
Yeah,
said?
I've been here 15. Yeah, yeah.
And like,
no, 16.
First
Oh my
time-
God. Oh no. Yeah, 09. Yeah, 09. Yeah. So
First time you'd
16.
been in my apartment was today.
That's
And I've lived
nuts.
in New York. I've had 17 roommates in New York City.
It's crazy, man.
And now I finally live alone, you know.
You've made it. You've made it.
Gracias a Dios, you know. Allah is great, right?
Oh, hysterical.
So I finally have that. I live alone, but 17 roommates. And once I started living alone, I realized that a majority of my personality was complaining about my roommates.
Okay, right.
So
So what are you doing to fill that hole
man,
now?
yeah, now I looked in the mirror about a month into living alone and I was like, oh no, I've always been the problem.
Oh, that's wow. So you had kind of a self-realization.
That's right, that's right.
Mine was Ray Combs Jr., the best comic that I thought quit.
Dude, Ray Combs Jr.
Hysterical, right?
Is a genius. Yes,
I thought so
yes.
too, and
So fun.
so funny.
And also so nice. That's something else I like to say. Or nice might be the wrong word. It's too soft, but I think it's decent.
I think he was a good guy in his heart,
Yeah.
especially given what he came from. You know.
Yeah, there's some people you just trust. Like you want to
Yeah.
be around, they make you feel
Yeah,
comfortable.
yeah.
And that's what I try to be in this as well, right? Like we've been doing this so long, you run across a lot of like what Bill Hicks would call the fevered egos,
Yeah.
selfish people.
Right.
You got to protect yourself and your aura.
Right.
And so that's when people like Ray Combs, they stick out because you're like, oh, what a nice.
Nice guy.
Decent guy.
Yeah. Wow, this is great, man. Back to the Future 2 or 3.
Oh my God, 2 is the one with Biff where he he's Donald Trump basically in like
yeah.
Casino World.
Yes.
I love that. Yes.
I think 2 is the better one too, but everyone's saying 3. I don't get
Who are
that.
these people that want to go back out to the West, the Wild West? I'm not into the Wild West.
Yeah,
we got
man,
a lot
I
of
don't-
people out west, and we whitewashed the genocides out there.
There you go.
You know, it's just
So-
a giant real estate land grab.
I'm glad we could do that. I'm glad we could agree on that. Back to the Future 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a segment called All the AI in the World and I Still Can't. So like, what's something in 2025 that with all the technology we have is still a pain in the ass that you recently went through? Maybe like paying a parking ticket or, you know what I mean?
Wow. Okay. I love your questions. I think for me it's like the chat bots kill me. I just want to be able to talk to like a person IRL.
Yes.
And
yes.
I hate it when the site or the app is like, what's your problem? And then
Right.
they ask you to type it in, and then the chatbot's like,
Right.
whoop, let me refer you back to our frequently asked questions. And I'm like,
Right.
no, this is the frequently asked question.
Dude, that makes me insane, and especially because I have this slogan that I coined where I don't say problem solve, problem swap. Like, yeah, you basically just created another problem that could have been solved how you just got a freaking human on the phone. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Or a live person chatting you, or you know, whatever.
So I'm in the
Yeah.
airport. And there's a line for Starbucks, and it's a real person line.
Right.
You know, and then though all the people waiting in the real person line are like basically there's a log jam because all of these other people who are also in the airport have like the Starbucks app, so they've pre-ordered, right?
Right.
So now the people at Starbucks are like in the airport are like, which drinks do we make first? The
Right.
ones for the people who are literally physically here,
Okay.
right in front of me, or the ones who are like blowing up our little phone machine?
Right.
You know, and then the phone people show up and they're freaking out because their order's not ready. And I was like, we just need to get rid of the phone order app.
I've been saying this. You want kids?
No.
So no kids for you. You would be a good dad, though, I think, man, because
Sure.
you're so like, I don't know, like you're always yes-anding. You know? I don't know. I think that's what being a parent is.
I enjoy children, and I've worked in schools for the last
For years.
20 years.
For
you
years,
know?
right, yeah.
So I've worked with thousands of children from kindergarten all the way up to like 9th grade, and so
Okay.
I'd say I've seen how the sausage is made.
Right.
I've seen every aspect of human development,
Right.
from like being a little soft skull,
Right.
to like sort of like a gangly adolescent,
Right.
and I'm good with it. And I think I've made a broader impact on society by working with other people's kids.
I like that, man. How is this going for you so far?
I feel great.
Do you think I have something here?
I think you got gold.
You think so?
I think you do. I
Okay,
think
so
you
maybe
have
Dan was right.
a cavern full of emeralds.
Okay, wow. Yeah, because Dan said keep doing it. So I mean, I feel like
I agree with Dan.
there you go, man.
How long have you done?
This is like my 5th one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, my 5th one.
Well, I'm
you-
honored to be on like
Yeah,
the
you
first
were in the
hand.
top 5, man. Yeah, I've wanted to do this for a while. And my goal is like another goal of this, obviously get to know you a little bit better, even though I do know you pretty well.
Yeah.
Maybe there's like a new comic around that doesn't know you that well. You know what I mean? That now will listen to this and all right, now I got to at least have a better idea of who Gabe is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think I got pretty spiritual on this one.
You did, man, because you do lead a pretty fascinating life, man. Because most people lead, and I say this like, I don't want to go off too much of a rant here, but like most people lead a very safe, traditional life, whatever that looks like. It's like that Bernie Mac joke about how white people take a break with the cheese sandwich. Remember that from the Kings of Comedy? Remember that one? It's like that's most people's lives. They go to work, they take a lunch break, they have the sandwich, they go back, whatever that looks like. But
Yeah.
you kind of. Maybe I romanticize your life more because I'm so traditional and I got the kids and stuff that like I kind of feel like you're a guy that does what you want when you want.
I've given myself the space to do that. Absolutely.
100%.
So like for
you don't
example,
answer anybody.
No.
Nobody.
Nobody.
You
And
can go to South Africa
I can go.
and you can come back or not.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And there are sacrifices to that.
Right,
you
100%,
know?
100%.
So
yeah.
the freedom doesn't come without like loneliness.
Freedom's not
and-
free, as they say.
No.
Yeah.
And also, and I work, right? But it's so like, but I'm not gonna get that job advance. Yesterday, I wake up, I do my job from home, and I have a neighbor come over. One of the only other like Gen X, Williamsburg veterans who's been in the
Okay.
neighborhood forever.
Okay.
She comes over and I say, hey, we're gonna go for a walk. Let's go to Union Hall. Do you want to take the G train with me right now? Let's go watch some comedy. Frankenbaby. We went to go check out that
Okay,
show.
okay.
She's like, and of course, she's like, yes. But it was so spontaneous. It was like, let's do it. And then once we're there at the show, I was like, oh, I wanted to check out this music night on Mondays at Barbez in Park Slope. It's a 20-minute walk from here. You have time and you need to go to Barbez to go watch live music? Yes. And it wasn't a date, and it wasn't like, it was 100% spontaneous.
Right.
But if I'd planned to do those things,
It never would have happened.
it never would have happened.
Right.
And if I'd asked a lover to go do those things, they would have been like, so what's your plan? Like, are we walking?
Right.
Like, is there dinner involved?
Right.
Like, so I try to live a life that gives me that freedom to go at a moment's notice and experience something magical in this city. It's often stuff you can't share with other people. It's
Let the city be your date.
yeah, it's like how can I tell you, Dan, let's both stare up at the sky and wait for the same shooting star,
Oh man, that's fucking deep.
right? You
That's deep.
you just have to know that you're gonna catch these shooting stars, but you might be the only one to experience them.
Man, I love that. God, you're a great guy in your heart, man. I really believe that. I don't care what anybody says.
Who are these everybody's?
No.
Who?
Was there a time in your comedy career when you were like, this is gonna happen for me? Like, there's heat. Not that you
Oh.
care about that stuff, but was there a time that was there a heightened moment in your life? I have one, so like, if you
Yeah,
have one,
I think to be honest, I really liked right before 2020, maybe 2019. I had just put out an album.
What? I remember that. Yeah, I think I bought that
And-
album. I'm pretty sure I bought that album.
Thank you,
Yeah,
thank you. I put out an album and I'd just gone to like 4 festivals.
Right.
And so I'm like going to festivals, I'm starting to meet a couple industry people, And I thought, oh, maybe this is going to pop off in some way.
Right.
And then the shutdown happens and my life changes. And I don't feel any type of way about that.
Right.
It was just like the course of the current and the flow went in a different direction. And so, but I'm happy with everything that's happened. None of it's been a failure, right? So
Everything that's happened got you to where you are now.
exactly,
basically. Yeah.
exactly. So there's no.
Do you care about money or fame?
I'd like to live comfortably, and I'd like a legacy. So one of my favorite documentaries is Searching for Sugar Man.
Love it. I reference that documentary 1,000 times a day.
So you know it. And
I know it well, yes.
For your listeners, right? In that Sugar Man, Rodriguez,
Right.
he's
Basically
like
a homeless guy in squalor in Detroit.
yeah, he's like a
Right.
janitor in Detroit
Right.
with adult daughters
Right.
who don't believe that he was ever anything.
Right.
And he's just like a long-haired has-been.
Right.
And but what is true as well is that his albums that were like a very limited press,
Right.
which flopped in the U.S., became like really important activist music in South Africa during their anti-apartheid movement.
He was basically like the Bob Dylan of South Africa, if you want, or something. He was a huge
Yeah.
star, but totally. But they thought he was dead.
right.
They thought he was dead.
They didn't know where to find him, right? They
Right,
just
because this
knew.
was pre-internet. They couldn't
Yeah.
just Google where the guy was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how you never know who your art is going to impact, and that's a reason though that you have to just keep putting things out there, and it's like casting nets, into the ocean.
100%, man. Right now in Botswana, there's a kid referencing
That's
Gabe's,
right.
Gabe's Herald joke. Right
Yeah.
now. That's what it is right now.
That is the dream, That is the dream. We all affect everyone. We all affect somebody in our lives.
Did you see the Pee Wee Herman doc? Just wrapping up here.
Oh my God. Yeah, I loved it.
Well, let's talk about
One
it.
of my faves.
Okay, I have a question how it relates to you in a minute, but do you think that made him look better or worse?
I think it made him look better.
You think so?
I do.
Really?
I think it added some humanity to him.
Okay.
And I think it allowed us to see a little bit behind the mask, and to see both the the origins of the art, right? Like his influences,
Right.
and you also got to see his ambition. And I think for any artist, it's important to see a little bit like how the sausage is made.
Right.
Right? There's the myth of who Pee Wee is. There's the
Right.
public image, and then there's the human that's behind that. And
Yeah.
that's what we got to see in the
Well, that's interesting
documentary.
because, and I feel like just to kind of elaborate on that, I was watching this interview with Dave Navarro, who I do like, and a lot of these old rocker guys now, you can do, for like $5,000, you can do like meet and greets before the show.
Yeah.
And he was saying that in his traditional rock and roll mind, that takes away any mystique
Right.
that you have as the artist, about the artist. And that you can see this guy basically with like the beer belly and like the angry ex-wife or whatever, you know what I mean? That like it takes the mystique away. And I feel like Paul Rubens definitely comes from that school too, where, never revealed anything about his personal life. You really knew nothing about him.
Yes.
And I think that's kind of interesting because now I think in 2025, we know everything about everybody.
Paul Rubens, I think, fit into like Andrew Dice Clay would have been in there.
Yeah, I love Dice. Yeah, I love
Bobcat
Dice, yeah.
Goldthwait was another character comic like that. Steve Martin was
Right.
an inscrutable, unknowable character.
Right.
As a comedian. Amazing Jonathan.
Yes.
So there's a whole Howie Mandel,
Yes.
right? Whoever that guy was.
Right.
These were like all Carrot Top. These are all like larger than life cartoon character
Right.
comedians. And like I think somebody like Louis C.K., obviously he has his own demons.
Right.
But represented this other like version, this more authentic self.
Right.
Go on.
My takeaway from that doc too, when he talks about when he was in art school,
Yeah.
people that were conceptual people.
Yeah.
That's not you, I don't think. I
No.
think you are, because I could see someone saying that you are a conceptual guy, but I don't think you are. I think you've, again, love you, hate. I mean, I do love you, but regardless of how I feel about you personally, I can't say you pretty much haven't been the same dude since I've known you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I think it's always been like a search for self,
Yes.
a search to best express self,
100%. Yeah.
versus to create an artifice. So there, I think that's a difference. And I think though performers who build fantasy worlds are often, I think it's an asset. I think it's a blessing. It's more marketable too. It's
Right.
like, can you write a fantasy? Can you
Right.
can you create a story for a grandma?
Right.
Right. Do you have a grandma character?
Right.
Oh, like the Ed Grimley guy,
Yes.
Martin Short.
Yes.
You know.
Well, and I think that's why I think I gravitate towards you, is because I feel like, back to, you know, a little bit about you, I feel like you remind me of somebody that I would have met in college or something, that you kind of are a bridge to my past, in the sense of, like, you know, you don't meet people like you in the workforce. You know what I mean? No, I mean that in a good way. Like, you're like a pretty heady guy. You talk about heady stuff. You know what I mean? And you don't see that at the Winn-Dixie when you're bagging groceries. You know, not that I don't work there, but you get what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Well, it's
I'm making a hyper-local Florida grocery reference there. Sorry about that.
having the luxury to be able to just sit with podcasts in my head.
Right.
Or like read books or have books on Audible at 1.5 speed while I walk around by myself.
Oh, hysterical.
You know, you have to have time. Like having time to think is a luxury.
100%,
You know?
100%, man. But
And the more distractions you have in your life, the less time you have to think, and the more tired you are. Even I work at a museum, and I feel like half of the people in my department don't have time to read anything
Right.
new about history.
right, because now it's your job.
Yeah, now they're just
Right.
like devoted to spreadsheets.
That's right.
And marketing to schools to get
That's
more
right.
kids to come in.
That's
so
right.
you literally just become a logistics person.
Right, but now you see how the sausage is made, and, you know,
Yeah.
it's not as...
Or like in stand-up, right? Like somebody put out a tweet, I think it was David Twitty. It was very funny, but he's like, in the past, it was the improv was seen as the form of comedy for rich kids.
Right.
Because you'd have to take like $500 for an improv class.
Right.
But the reality now is stand-up has become the art form for the rich kids, because a stand-up has to be able to do 100 sets for free,
Right.
and buy a $2,000 camera,
Right.
and pay for somebody to edit all of their clips,
Right.
and then have a social media team to like post their clips all in a uniform way
Oh, yeah.
online. And your whole job becomes marketing and spreadsheets and cold calling to get spots in clubs, and it's all of these things then become a job that take away from the magic of the actual art form.
100%. I mean, I think we could both agree that in 2025, Patty Hearst would be doing improv, right? That would be her... that would be the radical...
100%. Well, because all the arts have been gobbled up by the wealthy. As the middle class shrinks, you don't really have space for middle class artists anymore.
Right, and I really romanticize like the Larry David living in Hell's Kitchen in the slum, in the tenement housing, doing like 2 a.m. improv spots.
Yeah.
Those days are really over. I mean, that's really doesn't really exist anymore.
Yes.
Other question here, just wrapping up. Do you think you have to be unhappy to be funny?
No.
Oh, wow.
But
Okay.
you need to be able to be alone.
Okay, can you expound on that?
Yes. Well, I think unhappiness is a reason that some people might withdraw
Okay.
into themselves. But there needs to be the ability to detach, to spend time letting an idea ferment.
Okay.
And if you are, so unhappiness sometimes can be the pathway to that.
Okay.
I also think when I talk to younger people about where does like art come from, because they'll ask me, I'll be like, sometimes it comes from anger, right? Like your anger is where so much of your energy can come from.
Right.
When you watch like the Siths.
Right.
In Star Wars,
Yeah.
there's that scene in the one where Qui Jin is fighting with Darth Maul.
Right.
And then it's in like the first of the prequels.
Right.
Right, and then the force field comes down between them.
Right.
And Qui Jin sits there and meditates, and Darth Maul's like pacing back and forth, waiting
Right.
for the force field to come up.
Right.
And I was like identified with Darth Maul. I was like, no, that's the proper way to
Right.
generate your chi to get
Oh,
ready
wow.
for the battle,
Oh, wow.
not to meditate.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then who wins the battle? Darth Maul.
Darth Maul.
So sometimes you need to like wind yourself up, like the Jack in the Box, to spring out with a punch.
Okay.
And that's good.
Right.
Spite is another great.
You like spite?
I love spite.
Wow.
Spite, revenge, You know, when people talk about having a conversation with themselves, the conversation they wish they'd had in the moment, at some moment in their life where they were shamed, and they're like, oh, I wish I'd said this, right? Or
Yes,
oh,
yes.
I wish I got picked.
Yes.
I wish I knew how to act at that moment.
Right.
You know, I wish I was cooler.
I used to beat myself up about that endlessly, and I've gotten better, you know.
And then when you see all these manicured people on stage who know how to speak well in front of audiences, often it's because at an early point in their life, they fumbled the bag. They fumbled the baddie. They
So
lost.
You're saying that spite or that pain is what motivates them to kind of overcompensate for it now.
Yes.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, you get good at something you failed at.
Right. I like that.
Or you crawl into a hole and die.
Are you happy?
What? I'm happy right now.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
just saying in general, though. I mean,
Yeah.
'cause I've never you never struck me as like an unhappy guy, and I think you are very funny. So that's why I don't buy into the whole you have to be unhappy to be funny.
No, I think you gotta every day can be a roller coaster, and like if you're an artist, you're channeling emotions into your work, so you have to be in touch with your emotions, and sometimes those emotions are sadness, right? But like once you've processed it, what's left? I think there's joy, and
Right.
joy is different than happiness or sadness. I experience a lot of joy in my life.
Okay. Well, beautiful. Well, I think that's going to do it for us. This has been pretty exhilarating. I'm going a mile a minute. I don't know about you.
I'm feeling great, Dan. This was
this
fantastic.
Better, worse than you thought? Better?
No, it feels like I'm in a Grand Theft Auto San Andreas for a dated
Okay.
reference. And there's just like a cacophony of sounds I'm so hyper aware of
Right.
because of my dysregulated nervous system.
There you go, there you go.
Yeah, just the fact that we're out here recording in nature, in the
Good.
wild.
The walk and talk was the way to go, right? I mean,
Oh, so
yeah,
great.
yeah,
I
yeah.
do my best thinking walking and
100%.
talking.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I feel great, man. I mean, the fact that I got to see where you live was a real highlight for me because, like I said, that's never happened before.
Are you
so
happy?
I am happy, yeah. You know, you're a guy, believe it or not, man, you're a guy that I root for. Not believe it or not, you are a guy that I root for. You know,
Same,
so,
dude.
all right, last question, and then I promise we're done. If you could go back in time, anything comedy-wise you could have done, you think you could have done differently, knowing what you know now?
Oh, what would I have done differently? I think I would have gotten into videography earlier in the game.
Oh, I like
and,
that.
maybe continued to take acting classes
Okay,
earlier.
okay,
Because I really enjoy acting on film.
okay.
And yeah, and that's all. So I would
right,
be
man.
just a couple steps ahead on that. So yeah, invest in yourself. That's advice I have for anybody doing this. Invest in yourself. You know, you wasted all this money on college. You might as well waste money on
Right,
something
right.
that you care about. So
Wild, man. Well, this is fantastic, man. I'm new. Yeah, thank you so much for doing this, and awesome.
thank you. All right.
Dude, awesome, man. That was great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Seriously, did you have a good time?
I had a great time.
You're going to be shocked at how good the audio is.